Focaccia, one of my favorite breads. You want to take yeast, sugar, salt, oil, and water. Combine that together. The water should not exceed 110 degrees. I'll help you with that. Shouldn't exceed 110 degrees because it'll kill the yeast. But with this kind of bread, you want to dissolve it and you want to leave it in the bowl. You see, like I've got this here, Buck. You got a shot of that? You want to leave it for about 5 or 10 minutes. And so it's already starting to rise. The fermentation is already starting in there, okay? Once you get it to that pot, then what we're going to do is we start adding the flour a little bit at a time. See, these are friends here. These are nice folks. I don't want to add all the flour, turn the machine on 10, and, you know, and then slowly we're going to make a bread dough. It's going to form a ball. It's going to come off the machine just like making bread, except the combination of this fermentation with the oil in there is what is going to make this really fantastic. Take it out, little trick, teaspoon of olive oil in your glass bowl, take your dough, put it in there, cover it. It's got to proof for about an hour and a half. Another secret of good focaccia. You want some air to it as opposed to density. This is what it looks like after an hour and a half, right here. See? It almost doubled in size. Now, how do I make it focaccia? Once it does the first rise, an hour and a half, now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and you're going to see it shrinking in my hand, we're going to take the dough, see, let it naturally stretch like this, then onto a lightly oiled sheet pan, press it till it molds this half sheet pan. Okay, and then what I do too is I make the dimples right away. And I'll show you why we do that. Cover it. Cover it about another half an hour. It's going to look like this. See? If you want to make more dimples, go ahead. I got enough dimples in here. You brush or drizzle olive oil on the focaccia like this. Okay? That's number one. 2, use kosher salt or sea salt. Sprinkle it. That's why the dimples, see, they're flowing in them dimples. They're all happy right now, these dimples. And then what I like to do is take a little bit of chopped rosemary, okay? Just like that. Maybe a little bit more olive oil. But I'm an olive oil freak. I said earlier $375, $400 for the focaccia. I don't know what I was thinking. $450. You want to get it hot like that because you want to get it nice and crispy. Should look like nice golden brown. Okay? We're going to take a red pepper. You can do this ahead of time. You just put it on your grill or on your electric burner will work, on your gas burner. The reason why we're doing that was we're charring the outside because there's a wax on these particular peppers, most peppers. So we want to break the wax. It looks like this when we're done. Put it in the bag, let it cool. See, and then what happens, you can peel that off, and there goes that skin. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this little red pepper sort of mayonnaise, or an aioli is another name for it. Little olive oil. And we're going to put some shallot, or you could put some onion in there, just to sort of get the flavor going. A little salt, pepper. Then I seeded and diced that red pepper. 1 red pepper, which is right here. I'm going to put that in the food processor. Then I'm going to add some herbs to it. I thought basil would be nice. So we'll just tear a little basil up. A little bit of fresh parsley. And then once the shallot gets clear about 3 minutes, we're going to add that in there too. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make now an emulsion, but no egg. How you're going to do that is we're going to slowly just drizzle some extra virgin olive oil. And you want to sort of scrape down the bottom here to make sure that everything's incorporated. Hey, if you don't want to do that, it ain't going to offend me. Don't worry about it. It'll be chunky, though. We'll add the rest of the olive oil. If you add it too fast, it's going to break. So I'm going to add a little bit of aged balsamic vinegar, and that's going to be the acidity. I'm going to take that red pepper mayonnaise, kind of just spread it like that, okay? If you like it wet, add more. Not, just put it in the refrigerator. Then I'm going to take some arugula, and I'm going to add some arugula here and season it. Some red onion, some roast beef. Okay? You with me so far? I'm going to put a little bit of fresh basil. Then there's another thing that I love too. It's called Maytag blue cheese. Oh yeah, babe. Now, if you don't want blue cheese, hey, I'm just going to use a little bit of this. Okay? Little bit like this, you crumble it on this roast beef deal. Okay? And then what you do is you take the other half. Now that's a sandwich, you know what I'm saying?